to you by Shawn Porter Promotions. Live from Los Angeles, it's time for the main
Okay, Jimmy. I really got to bring the heat now. I had the studio. I said hook up the music and everything. I just didn't have the energy, man. It's 10 o'clock.
Why?
Sunday?
You got to wake up with energy. I wake up every day ready to go.
Okay.
When I get up, I'm ready to go.
What do you do when you get up in the morning?
You want to know? I
yes.
told you this before. As soon as I get,
I made that. That was so real. What do you do in the morning? It was so real to tell everyone.
All right. So when I get up in the morning, first thing I do is put on something motivational or funny. I start my day off with something funny or motivational. I don't want to start my day off with no BS.
Where do you go? Where do you go for the funny?
I think me and you got a thing we share called Chocolate Sundays. Or I go with Kevin Hart, Straight from the Heart. Or motivation, I go with my man E.T. And that's about it. You know, sometimes I throw on us. Throw on us for the funny. You know, we be wilding.
No, stop it.
What do you mean? You know, we be wilding, so I throw on us with the funny. But yeah, you know, stuff like that. As a matter of fact, my lady started my day off yesterday. She woke up on one. She was on one all day. I said, hey, it's enough. We slept in different bedrooms
like
last
attitude.
night. Yeah,
Okay, she was on.
Hey, you know, I don't do that, man. Hey, all day. We were like, the kid went somewhere. She went somewhere with her friends. I went out. Hey, we got back together. She was still on one. So I said, yeah, I can't sleep with her tonight.
You ain't tell her like you were supposed to do that so you could come back to the house.
You either do that in the morning, at lunch, or at dinner. You don't do that at lunch, dinner. Come on, man. So today, you know, I went downstairs. We good now. We having a better day. I said, we're going to have a better day today.
I had a follow-up question. I don't even remember it now. So Monday. Oh yeah, that was my question. Monday through Sunday. That's your routine. Something funny or something motivational. Monday through Sunday.
Yeah, every day. Every day. That's my motivation.
And then what do you do with the boy? With your son? Like, are you giving that to him already?
Oh yeah, when we having fun.
Yeah.
Immediately, as soon as for some reason, once he sees me, everything's alive. The mom, but it's also at the same time, he knows when I say no.
Yeah.
Like he can be reaching for something. She'll be like, no, he'll just keep going.
Yeah.
When I say no, stop, look at me, cry.
Oh, you said cry.
Yeah. So he know dad don't play, but everything's a joke to him right now.
I don't really have a norm. I've been trying to get down on my knees every morning when I wake up.
Yeah.
I need to start, like, I got to make that more consistent. I'm reading more now, which is crazy, but I really don't have a typical norm. I know we got some motivation coming at the end of the show, but definitely want to give that to the audience while we, real quick, is just try to, whatever is going to get you into a mode of having a great day. Not just a good day or an okay day, but whatever can get you into the mode of having a great day, be consistent with that. You know what I mean?
That first 15 to 30 minutes when you wake up affects your whole day.
Somebody told me something, somebody you know actually, Dr. Rob.
Okay.
Told me the other day, because when I go see him, I'm still on my phone, I'm handling business and stuff like that. And he said, so I call him wins, and he saw me have a win because I shook my head and I'm on the phone, you know. And so I put the phone down and I'm smiling, like, you know, just kind of reflecting. And he said, well, what just happened? I said, I just closed this deal, man. I'm excited about that one. That one right there, I've been working on. And he said, well, that must have been the big one. I said, well, actually, I got another meeting when I leave here. And he said, is that meeting bigger than the meeting than what you just finished? I said, yeah, actually it is. He said, man, you got to switch that up. I said, what do you mean? He said, make the biggest win of the day the first win of the day. He said, after that big win, everything else is easy. And it made me think. I was like, wow, like, yeah, you're right. I probably could structure some things so that the biggest win that I could have happens first, and then everything else is just kind of like clockwork. And that's what you want to do. You want to get yourself into a position where, like you said, like you wake up and it's either motivation or it's funny. And after that, like everything else becomes easy, you know? Yeah. Every now and then you will, you know, there's a curveball that comes in, you know, every now and then there's a curveball that comes in. But when he said that to me, he said, make the biggest win, make that the first thing you do. I was like, yeah, you're right.
And being that you said that, I remember growing up, my mom would say, you know, when you have to speak to the class and you try to push it off. Like I have to go. If everybody got to speak. Hopefully I make it to the next day. She always taught us go first.
Yeah.
So I'll always go first. Now I can sit back and watch you. Watch you stress.
I was crazy. I always wanted to go first.
Yeah.
I was crazy.
So it was one of those things where they were get to the point where like Anthony's not going first. Somebody else got to go.
Yeah. But I can sit back and watch you.
Yeah. I watch because everybody else stressed about it. So it let's say with my job, let's say I'm facing something tough. I like to go ahead and knock that out on Monday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm rolling. I don't want to be thinking about some big issue I got to deal with on Friday the whole week. Now my whole week messed up. If I got something tough, deal with it on Monday. Yeah. The rest of the week is downhill. Yeah. That's give me the biggest problems ASAP.
Just to kind of
deal with my life.
Right. And again, when Coach Rob said that to me, it was like an epiphany came through. Like, wow, you're right. But to kind of tie this into boxing, is now we're kind of talking out what fighters go through the week of a fight.
Oh man, yeah, you gotta think about
the fight Saturday. If you're lucky, to fight Friday.
If you're lucky.
And so, and so I always tell fighters, or I always kind of, as long as we've been doing this podcast, I've been pressing on amateur, get experience, come to the pros with an elite amateur background, because it will allow you to face a lot of the things that you go through in the pros. You kind of have a rhythm and a routine from the amateurs, And so just to kind of flip that whole conversation back to the boxing world, it's like if we talking about you do plumbing and you say, man, I got the big job on Monday. I try to do the big on Monday. If you're a fighter, you can't do the big job on Monday. So just imagine what a lot of fighters go through in terms of trying to manage emotion, manage mentality, manage physicality with losing weight and things like that, all the way up until Friday, of course, the weigh-in, and then Saturday being the fight. I got into a routine of wanting to be by myself because I didn't want anybody around me that would laugh too hard. I didn't want you to laugh too hard. I didn't want you to be too serious. You know what I mean? So it was like, if I'm by myself, then I can manage myself by myself. But if I gotta, deal with 3 or 4 other people around me all the time, that might get me off of my focus that I have, or whatever the case may be.
And being your friend, you saying that, I literally didn't know how to manage you on fight weeks. I didn't know if I should come with the funny, should I be serious? So I just I really didn't deal with you besides sending you some text. I really didn't bother you too much because I didn't know. Didn't know. You don't know how you guys are feeling. I know some people don't care. Carson don't care.
You would send me some messages from sometimes, and I'd be like, I was always rocking with it. Then you send me a message sometimes, I'm like, what is this dude talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
I want to deal with this right now. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But you got people like Carson, he don't care. Yeah. Carson's going to be Carson. I don't care if you got to fight the greatest person in the world.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't, your shoes is trash.
Yeah.
But I guess that's, what you're getting with some people.
Yeah.
But I try to consider you going through an emotional time right now. This is go ahead.
When Genuine, just made me think right quick. When Genuine said, I asked him if he watches boxing before a fight or before he does his shows or anything like that. He said, I either watch boxing or I listen to or watch rap battles.
Yeah.
I was like,
it was so confusing.
It was confusing. But this would probably surprise a lot of people. Before my fights, I was either watching Twilight Zone, the old school show from the 40s.
Oh, okay.
No, I was later than that. Yeah, like around the 40s. But old school Twilight Zone or football. Way off base from boxing.
The greatest hits or something?
Huh?
Football greatest hits?
It was, if I was boxing around the fall, I was watching whatever was on.
Oh, you're just watching the game. Oh, yeah, because I walked in your room that time. I got kicked out. It was Ohio State playing.
Yeah, I'm just watching a game, and my whole thing with that was I knew that I would be in such a state of focus that I didn't want to have to focus on something else. So if I'm watching a new movie, I've never watched this movie before, I'm going to put more focus into this movie, or I'm going to be pulled away from the movie because of my focus on boxing, and I'm going to miss it. Mm-hmm. And so I knew with football, it didn't matter who was winning the game.
Okay, I'm just watching.
But it was still competitive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Twilight Zone, I've watched every episode so many times, it became more like background noise, but entertainment because I still love the show, So that's how I was able to kind of manage myself before fights. It was either Twilight Zone because I was like I could tune in when I wanted to, I could tune out when I wanted to, or football because I love football.
Hey, somebody brought this up into my DMs. What on the video game Undisputed? Shout out, great video game. You can download it on PC right now. What do you feel you should be ranked on there? What's your rating? What do you feel like?
My ranking is 80.
But what do you feel you should be?
I think my first thought when I seen it, I was bummed that it wasn't higher. But I was like, that's fair. What is it, 86?
83. Everybody's laughing. Everybody, hey man, cause my man in the DM
I'm hurt now. I thought it was higher than that.
No man,
has it changed over the course of the last week?
Has it changed? No, it hasn't changed.
They didn't update it.
What do you mean update? No, I don't think you got updated.
Damn, boy, look. Well, I said 86. Why you ain't just let me believe that was 86?
Because it wasn't 86.
Damn.
Because so I was talking to somebody and I'm like, he was like, what do you think he should be? I said, I'm showing Shawn that it's 83.
You show me.
Yeah, I just had to ruin your day. Because I ain't getting the video game, so at least you in there. Be appreciative for what you got. Don't be appreciative.
I'm damn near in tears because it's 83.
So I feel like, obviously Shawn's not the greatest welterweight ever. But hey, man, I feel like my man should be 86 to 88.
Listen, I honestly
you're not an 90s. You're not an 90s fighter.
Listen to me. I consider myself to be an A- fighter.
No. You don't deserve an 80. You're my guy. I love you like a brother. You don't deserve an 80.
At worst.
At worst. At what? Oh,
B+ fighter. At worst.
That's a B+. 87, 88.
I know.
I feel like you're a B+ fighter too.
At worst. I'm an A- fighter, baby. At the least. I'm an even A.
You're a B+ fighter.
I'm an even A.
On any given night, Shawn can get you.
I'm an even A.
All right. I don't know if I start B. What do you feel like? I'm going to go with the two elite guys. I'm going to say Errol Spence, 94, 95.
Damn, that high?
Maybe 90.
I'm not saying he's not an A+ fighter.
95.
He's an A fighter.
And I'm going Terrence, 95, 94, right there with each other.
I think both them guys definitely deserve to be in the 90s.
Yeah. Who's if we could think of a 99, who would be 99 right now?
99?
Who would y'all think?
Did you just say 99?
Yeah.
Let us know who y'all think will be a 99
Tank.
in the game. No.
Tank ain't 99?
No.
Tyson Fury.
Oh, you mean a fighter that's now will be?
Yeah. Oh, you talking about ever?
Oh, yeah, I thought you meant ever.
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, I think respectfully. Yeah.
But yeah, right now I'll say Tyson Fury. Tank.
99?
Yeah. Hey, look at you. You like I'm at 83.
I stopped there. I wasn't even thinking about myself. What you put at the 99?
Well, who would y'all put at 99?
That's a hell of a score.
That's what NBA players are all about. They want their 99. LeBron's still getting 98s now at 38 years old. I don't think he deserves 98, but shout out to LeBron, 38,000.
I think that shit, because if I'm at 83, I gotta get back in the ring, don't I?
What, just so I can boost my score?
Yeah, right? I do.
I guess you gotta have a better ending.
Damb.
You think the
is
ending?
That what they? No.
I was talking to somebody. I was like, I think the ending affect my guy. Like, come on, man. You give him credit for what he did, man. I was kind of hot. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. I'm a little hot at 80. I thought it was 86. I'll make some phone calls. We'll get it to an 86. I won't get back in the ring. I'll just make some phone calls.
All right, man. Let's talk about boxing.
Yeah, all that being said, well, I mean, we was talking about boxing, but you threw a. That's like.
I ruined your day?
You know what you did?
What?
That's like, you ever get a text message somebody died? You ever get a text message that somebody in critical condition?
When people call me, I say, man, don't start my day with something bad. Do I tell you that? Yeah. Because sometimes people don't call me. Certain people call me, usually text me. So when you call me, I'm like, oh, man, don't tell me something bad, man.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I'm in critical condition now. Yeah, you just hit me with some critical condition type stuff.
Hey, whatever.
That's where I'm at now.
Hey, I'll be happy to get a game. I think that put me at like a 42. Hayfie probably come in about 60.
42?
Yeah. Just first off,
if Ant was on the game, what would be his rank, his rating? I'm gonna go with 74.
I've seen you play VR boxing. I don't know.
No, I'm nicer.
72. 72.
Nice.
72.
I'm nice.
72.
No, from what he's seen, I'm gonna rank Anthony at a 38. That was a joke.
No, a real ranking.
Real ranking. I give myself a 68.
Yeah, 72.
68. I'm that guy. Like I told dude, I should be that guy that you just knock out in sparring.
Yeah. Obviously we're talking about
Carson,
the Undisputed game.
Carson.
What about him? We'll rank Carson
26.
Oh yeah, he gonna fight. I give Carson 42.
On the game.
On the game,
he still would be in the 60s.
60.
Yeah, he's 60.
He a D- fighter.
Yeah, 60. Unfortunately.
All right.
The Undisputed game released on the computers. What was that last week then, huh? It's been out for an entire week.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be, I hope you guys are enjoying the game. We are connected to Undisputed, so we will be covering that game as it releases onto the consoles and all those types of things. We'll probably do some things where we have some of you fans, if you guys are playing the game and you want your skills displayed on the show, we'll figure out a way to get that to us so that we can get on the show. You don't have to be playing with me. It is cool that I am on the game. That is cool in retrospect. Kenny hit me up yesterday and was mad at me because I didn't tell him that I was on the game. I'm like, yeah. He's like, man, my dream has come true. I'm like, that's what's up. Yeah. I'm like, that's what's up. And no, I mean, that's genuine love for my brother. He's excited that I'm on the game. So no, that is exciting. And as I just said, we will be doing as much as we can to help support the Undisputed game and things like that. All that being said, we had some fights on Showtime. This weekend.
The main event lived up to it, but I guess we could start with the heavyweights. We got Pedro. Let me.
Pero.
Sorry. Okay. that didn't say Pedro.
No. Faust and Faust. Pero versus Faust. Which was
Let me pull that up.
That was a good fight. It was what I expected it to be based on seeing both of those guys get in the ring against other fighters, of course. That fight was everything that I expected it to be. I thought Faust would be a little stronger in the early part of the fight. Mm-hmm. And I knew Pero was going to be as strong as he was early in the fight. I thought that this fight was going to end in a knockout.
I mean, it did.
No. Listen.
Somebody on their back now.
On their back.
Gotcha.
And in the way that Faust was performing early on, I thought that he was going to be on his back. Mm-hmm. And then he shows up with some power that I knew he had. And Pero was like on his feet a couple of times. I was like, whoa, what is going on?
Yeah, that was, being that he was the bigger guy, I thought he would put the body on him and hurt him a little bit. Pero was his name?
Pero,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got to roll a tongue. I can't roll my tongue.
Pero. Oh, okay.
You're a tongue roller?
No, I'm not a tongue roller.
I shouldn't ask you that, should I?
Nah, but it's cool.
Yeah,
but being a Cuban, I was waiting for that Cuban style that Carson loved so much. I didn't see it.
No, I mean, he's a heavyweight. So you talking about the elusiveness?
Luis Ortiz?
You talking about the elusiveness?
Yeah, just the slickness and all that. His style is definitely different than a regular Cuban heavyweight that I see like Frank Sanchez. He's like not on that level with boxing skills. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's like
he's beat Frank Sanchez, right? In the amateurs.
Oh, I was about to say.
A good. I think he's like 3-1 against Frank in the amateurs, or 4-1 against Frank in the amateurs.
Is that his call to fame?
I mean, he just got this win last night.
Yeah, that's true.
But you're right. Like he's
it's different.
He's not sharp. He's not like polished.
That's it. Sean.
He's not polished.
I think when you say they say Cuban, we like put you at a different level. It's like we look at you in a different light.
Not the heavyweight division though.
Yeah.
Because before Frank Sanchez, you only had Luis Ortiz to go off of. Luis, I was fingers crossed that he was going to be the first Cuban heavyweight champion, and then I just don't see that for him. And I think probably the boxing world has moved on from him being the first. And I think now that definitely I feel that Frank Sanchez is going to be that guy. He's going to be the first heavyweight Cuban world champion ever. But then now we're seeing that there's some guys coming behind now Frank Sanchez. And there's two guys in particular, one being Pero. I don't remember the other guy's name right offhand. I know that they fought last year in January, and both of those guys are very skilled.
Okay.
But from what I saw last night from Pero, not polished. Yeah. Has the amateur background, has a somewhat different style from the other two heavyweights that we just mentioned. I think he needs more power. And I think that he needs to I think that his boxing ability, I think that, you know, he's one of those few fighters out there that you just have to be patient with. You know their background, you know where they're from, but you still have to be patient for everything to catch up and become one as a professional fighter. But that ending pissed me off.
Why? My man took a rib shot.
That ending pissed me off.
Did it?
We don't have the ending, do we?
Yeah, we do.
Pero
is 5-1 against Sanchez.
5-1.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's still a hell of a record versus.
Yeah. So kind of goes to what I just said. It has to catch up and translate into the professional game.
And he's only 9-0.
Yeah.
As a heavy.
And like I just said, some guys may come out of the amateurs with a name based on where you're from. You may have a name. But it has to catch up, you know? So with some guys, you just have to be patient with, you know? I remember early on, Andre Ward was like that, where he just wasn't shining the way people expected him to, being an Olympian, a gold medalist at the Olympic Games. But damn near, by the time he retired, we knew everything about Andre Ward, but early on, everything had to catch up, you know?
Yeah, it took a minute.
I think the same thing with Pero, but what was it said that this guy suffer an injury, Faust?
Yeah, they said he had a rib injury, but word on street is he got a broken rib. Yeah. Nothing's official. Is that official?
I don't know if it's official.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, he seemed like he took a shot. I thought it was when he got punched in the nose, and it was like, man, but it's like he took the shot, and it's just like, you ever had a broken rib or injury ribs? Yeah. Me either, but I've broken somebody's rib before, and he couldn't. Yes, I have.
What, football?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, be specific. Everybody think you big and bad. So.
Oh no, I ain't get nobody. Nah, I ain't got punching people.
That's why I laughed
about breaking their ribs.
I was like, don't laugh.
I hit
probably tackle somebody.
Yeah, and then my man, it was hard to breathe. So my man in a world title fight, Shawn taking all them breaths. Not a world title, but a heavyweight fight, taking all them breaths. It's like, oh man, you never had a broken rib, Shawn.
No, but I was pissed because.
They both undefeated? What?
No, I was pissed because the protocol there is take a knee. You take a knee.
His ribs are broken. I don't want to move. I'm hurt.
My wife tried to plead that with me. Like, well, maybe in the heat of the battle, he didn't think about it. No, take a knee. Like, you don't take punches unnecessarily. You don't turn your back. Then I was pissed at the ref because the ref clearly sees him turning his shoulder.
Yeah, and then he let the dude get 3 more shots.
Yeah, so, but it ain't the ref's fault. It's the fighter's fault.
I think everybody's a little confused in that time.
Yeah. Hey, and then Pero, I told my wife, like, Pero was just to go after dude and do what he had to do, you know?
He did what he had to do.
Earlier, at one early moment in the fight, when Faust got Pero and didn't go after him, I was like, what's up? You know, he got the 8 count or whatever, but it's like, go after this dude. You know what I mean? Yeah.
For the kill.
And he stands there and waits. I mean, it's 3 seconds until the bell rings. Don't matter.
But like, use them 3 seconds.
Yeah, use them 3 seconds. And my personal opinion came back to haunt him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You make him look very defenseless, and the fight ends. You know, again, it's only like what was like maybe 3 to 5 seconds right there. But you know, I thought that more should have been done there by Faust. It came back. My personal opinion came back to haunt him. You know,
and both of these fighters was undefeated. Faust is supposedly 30 years old. Cubans.
Why you say supposedly?
Cubans, you never know.
You know, Pero.
Pero.
Both of them are 30, I think.
Both of them 30?
Both of them are 30 or 30, 31.
Yeah, came in undefeated fighters. Where he go for here? He got a lot of growing to do.
I don't even think we talk about next. I know you like to play matchmaker.
But nah, I ain't matchmaking him with nobody. It's just he got work.
He definitely has to take his time.
Yeah.
Definitely has to take his time. And I like his corner. You know his coach's name offhand?
Hector's coach for the Tank fight.
Yeah, Bob Santos.
Yeah, Santos. I like Santos. I think Santos it's just gonna take time for the entire team to get him where they want to go. But obviously, he's got a lot of promise with him having the amateur background that he does, and in the corner again, and then him as a fighter, a heavyweight. He's a big dude. Put some strength on that frame, and he definitely could be a force in some time.
Yeah. So.
But let's give him some time.
Yeah, give him some time.
Let's be respectful.
And speaking of heavyweights, my man Mario Barrios looked like a heavyweight last night versus that. Why they do that dude like that?
Sharp.
No. Forget the sharpness. He looked like a 175 versus a 130. Like this dude fought. I remember that.
He was a big 140.
Oh, what was this fight at 147 last night?
Yeah.
Like I remember when
and dude was coming up from 140.
Yeah, he fought AB.
Yeah,
and I bet money on him, and they robbed my man. But
you said that.
Yeah, but yeah, that dude was. And I'm like, man, look at this. The mismatch was real. I mean, the pressure was on him. Mario looked very sharp. He got losses versus Thurman and I think Tank.
Yeah,
I think that might be the only 2 losses on his resume. 2 losses, which is not bad losses.
No,
but. He looked great last night.
Yeah. The same thing we just said about Pero. I think he deserves. Mario Barrios deserves some time at 47. Some time getting in the ring. I'm not saying. Well, what I am saying is don't put him in. That you shouldn't be putting him in a world title fight in his next fight.
Yeah.
Give him some time. Maybe 2 or 3 more fights, if not more. Maybe 3 or 4 more fights. He's in his 30s as well.
No, he's 27.
Or he's 27, but he's got more than enough time to build himself back up. He looked strong last night. He looked confident last night.
Yep.
He looked very poised last night. He looked determined last night. Like I'm coming off of 2 straight losses, but that's not me. I'm not a loser. And I think he completely proved that last night. He was supposed to against Santiago. A little resistance in the early part of the fight from Santiago. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. But Mario handled the business last night.
And in his 2 losses, he went 11 with Tank, and he had moments. He had moments where I thought he was hurting Tank. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought he was.
Yeah.
And he went 12 with Thurman. So, I mean, and last night he looked amazing.
Yeah.
And I think a couple more fights, just keep building. This is a guy you can build up, and you can get him in a world title fight at 147, like you said.
Where's the thing? Before he fought Thurman, before he fought Tank, that's what he looked like.
Yeah. So, that was at 140.
And it was at 140.
Yeah.
But that's what he looked like. My point is, those losses have not taken from him. He was all the way in the fight with Keith. There were a couple moments he had with Keith had him light on his feet, extremely light on his feet. But he finished it with Keith, and with Tank gave
him the Holy Ghost.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and he still was pulling himself down to 140 at that point. I think if anything, we could see that there was some weakness there going down to 140. He's at 47 now, and he looks the way he looked before he was in the ring with Tank, before he was in the ring with Keith, which are good signs that he's still healthy, that he's still hungry, and that he's still got a whole lot left to give to this sport. At 27 years old, take your time. That right there is at least 3 fights. You know what I mean? So just let him build himself back up. Take your time, Mario. Great outing, and I definitely would like to try to get him on the show next week.
Okay, let's make it happen. Yeah, the kid got a bright future.
He looked great last night. Looked great. He
could slide up in there and steal one of them vacant 147 fights down the road.
Yeah,
titles.
Yeah. He's gonna stay at 47.
But he's gonna steal one of them vacant ones.
One of the vacant titles at 147.
When they come vacant, never know what's going on. 147.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Shout out to Floyd Mayweather. He made that division hot.
Yeah. Oh, for the second words, he kept it hot.
Yeah, that's true. Nah, he brought the attention to it.
Yeah.
He took it from because Americans.
Yeah.
We couldn't win a title, so we said F the heavyweight division. That's how I felt. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not rocking with the Klitschko's. Yeah, I give all credit to 140.
To Floyd.
Yeah, because you was headed to what, 160?
I was at 54.
And headed to 160.
No, I was at 54.
Oh, and then Floyd Mayweather
I was trying to live at 54. You right.
Yeah.
You right.
And you said, oh, where the money at?
Yeah.
147.
No. I didn't say that.
And ever since that, you've been rocking shiny suits with $1 million in your pocket.
Yeah. And once I was able to humble myself and say, hey, you're not getting in the ring with this man. Stop hating on this man. I was able to realize that.
Oh, man. I made the money that.
Hell yeah.
Why am I doing this show?
I honestly though, I realized I was able to make the money that I was making because of Floyd. So you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Main event.
I text Shawn at one moment. I said, is this dude Foster a front runner or can he do this off? Or is he that good? He's that good.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes you look into the 2 losses. That didn't matter. He was sharp for
Sir,
12.
did you just cough?
I don't know.
No. You turn your head. You cover the mic. You do something.
I pressed the off button and then I turned my head.
No, it didn't work.
I heard it in my headphones.
Exit the room.
I heard it in my headphones. I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, shout out to Foster, man. Yeah, ask Shawn, is your front runner, is he that good? He was that good last night for all 12 rounds. I think he made it have. At one point, I tried to squeeze out in the group text and say, my man Ray had like 3 rounds going into the 10th. That was a stretch.
Yeah, that was
a real stretch.
I don't know. I may have given him 2 rounds.
He did look good later on at the end.
Yeah.
Like I would say between the 8th, the 7th, and the 11th, 7th and the 10th. Then after that, my man Foster turned on again.
I like Ray.
Yeah.
And I don't mean in disrespect, but what are you doing?
Oh, okay.
The whole team. There was no game planning involved. And or you just don't have what it takes to beat Foster. Because you should have known that he has one defense, Foster.
Ray said he ran all night.
No.
Okay.
No.
Ray said.
Because you should have known that this man you throw 3 punches, he's going straight back off of 3 punches. Rewatch the fight. 3 punches come at Foster, he goes straight back. And then he'll turn. But he'll turn if you force him to turn. He's a mover. They should have known that. They should have known that 3 punches was not going to get you success against Foster. It's going to have to be 5-punch combinations. It's going to have to be some serious aggression. It's going to be roughing this dude up and not allowing him to be comfortable.
But he couldn't catch him. Foster was slick.
Yeah. Foster was very slick, but Ray didn't. And this is why I said, you said, hey, is Foster a front runner? I said, no, he's not a front runner. He's going to finish this fight as long as there's no resistance. Mm-hmm. If you give him some resistance, if you make him feel your pressure, then you have a possibility of him folding. But number one, Foster was 100%. Look at him right there, 100% in his zone last night. And then Ray didn't do anything to get him out of his zone.
Yeah, Ray didn't change him. That he was
didn't change him.
Trying to be on the jab.
Yeah,
it was a little slow to the draw.
Yeah,
getting countered.
Yeah,
my man was slipping. It was just like I said, it was moments where I seen like Foster slow down a second, but it ticked right back up.
Yeah,
it ticked right back up, and just Ray got outclassed last night.
And it's interesting for Foster because when you're so consistent at what you do well, when you feel yourself slow down, mentally it's like, hold up, can't do that.
Yeah.
I've been there before.
Yeah.
Don't forget he's got 2 losses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there before. And it's
okay.
In the moment where it matters the most, he wasn't gonna allow nothing to slip. So yeah, I saw a few times where he started to slow down or he started to kind of like settle in, and then he was like, no, I gotta stay on this all night. 100% shout out to Foster for that performance. Yeah. Great performance. I've seen him fight before. I knew that he had that in him, but I thought that Ray was going to come with more than what Ray came with.
Yeah, I thought Ray would be better than. But I thought he was. Maybe I held Ray at a higher standard from the Mark fight.
They asked Abner at one point, what would you do different? What would you tell Ray to do different? And 2 things came to mind. I don't think Abner said either, but I would have started trying to 1 or 2 things, either countering Foster, because Foster's an in and out guy. Mm-hmm. And so you retreat, you start to move and make him get on his front foot and come after you. Mm-hmm. And that gets him off of his natural ability of being able to go out so quick. Once he's more so on his front foot, and now you make him be aggressive, and then you counter that attack. That was one thing he could have did. Of course, that's thinking outside the box. The other thing that I think Ray should have 100% done was what we clearly see he can't do, which is cut off the ring.
Yeah.
But beyond cutting off the ring, you have to use your hands and your feet at the same time. And Ray got to it. It should have got to the point for Ray where there was no retreat at all. There was I'm stalking you, I'm on you, and I'm throwing punches.
Yeah, I think his corner said that at one point. When he's throwing, you got to throw.
Yeah,
I felt like they felt like we're at that point, and I don't think Ray wanted that. Yeah, I think he got caught with some big shots. Yeah, that stunned him at times. Yeah, and he felt the power. Yeah, and he gained the respect.
There was a couple times where they got close, and it was like Ray was just kind of hitting the side of the head, but it was like there were light shots. Like
shots to the body.
I need to be active right here.
Yeah,
but I either don't want to be or I can't be. And it was like what he was given when they were close like this. Once they're broken up.
Foster on today.
I'll get him too. But this should have been these guys like day up, night, morning of, like this the morning after 10 a.m. I knew it wasn't gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
I knew it wasn't gonna happen. So I didn't try for either of those guys. But I want Mario next week and I want Foster next week. Okay. So we'll get them both next week. But that's what Ray should have been doing. Ray should have been very aggressive and should have been swarming Foster with a lot of shots. And you talk about going out on your shield. It ain't about just standing up and lasting through a fight. And I'm not saying that Ray was going out on the shield at all, but at some point you have to empty the tank. You have to say, I did everything I could do and I still lost. You can't lose a fight knowing that there was things that I didn't do.
Being an undefeated fighter and it worked for him 30 times, do you feel like maybe I'm winning?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
Times I seen, I guess everybody raised their hands at the end on unanimous.
My fight with Kel, I would have people tell me that I won the fight. I have people tell me that it was a close fight. Yeah, I 100% thought I lost that fight because I'm not used to getting hit the way I was getting hit. I'm not used to getting handled the way that I was being handled in that fight. To me, in my mind, nothing went right that fight. Yeah, and especially from a mental standpoint, I knew that I was so off. That fight that you could not convince me. People all the time tell me that I won that fight. I'm just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know.
When you're in that position that Ray was in, he's saying the explanation is he ran all night. That's you knew you were losing.
Yeah, like and with you, it was like he held all night, but it's like
that's what I let everybody else say all that.
His shit worked, but hopefully with Ray, like Ray. That was at 130. He goes back down to 126, I feel like.
No, Ray's not going back down to 26.
He's a world champ at 26.
Yeah, he's a world champ at 26, but he's a big guy.
He got to give up the titles?
It's argued that he's 5'11" at this point. I mean, he's a big kid, young man at 126. I don't think it's happening.
At 130, Shawn, there's a lot of movers.
A lot of movers.
You get in there with Gary Russell.
You just have to improve. You got to improve what you do. And Ray is a really good boxer.
Ray is who he is.
Yeah. Ray's a good boxer.
Hell of a boxer.
Yeah.
Hell of a boxer.
But when someone doesn't allow you to use your jab, to use your jab, you now have to have another answer. And I think that if anything,
because he was living and dying on the jab.
Hopefully Ray should have learned that last night.
Like your loss, hopefully he learns from it. You got better.
And kind of going back to what I said early on, like what are y'all doing? Did y'all not game plan? Because y'all should have known that Foster was going to be mostly out and countering with that overhand slick overhand that he's got, very fast, a shorter guy with long arms, but with a lot of speed, and it just offsets that size advantage that you would expect Ray to have.
What advantage?
Yeah, like it's like the speed that Foster has. I put this in the text last night. I say like he reminds me. He has hints of a prime AB.
Yeah,
I don't know if did you see that once I texted that last night.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah, like just prime AB, not the kind of power that AB had at 130, but definitely that in and out, that very quick, fast, sharp countering technique that Foster has.
Yeah, he looked so good last night. I'm like, who the hell on the planet beat him 2 times? Like, but is that I understand he refocused on his career.
Yeah.
I kind of seen the build up to the fight.
Yeah.
You saying that.
Yeah. And he didn't have what a lot of fighters have early on, that consistency of a team and things like that. He was kind of everything was just kind of like out of place for him.
You said this about a couple guys that we met, and I was like, they got losses already. They're just talented. He's like, they moved them too fast.
Yeah. And I don't know if they moved him too fast, but I do know that if you're moving at the rate that you're moving at, but you don't have the support, the everything that comes with being elite, then once you get put in certain positions, you just aren't ready. You don't know.
And shout out to what was his name? Robert Easter in the crowd last night. Hey, he been sparring with Shawn. Thought Reese's Progress was Robert Easter. I don't know what happened. I don't know what that
It was a glare. I told you it was a glare.
Y'all see?
It was a glare.
I don't know.
But that's why I put it in the text. I was like, is that Robert Easter out there? It wasn't. It was Regis.
Shawn.
It was a glare at one point.
But it's just the sparring. He's been getting in sparring with Regis.
Yeah.
Like, that's elite sparring.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's seeing great fighters, and man, just hopefully, I'm excited to see the guy. The world champion now at 130.
First time seeing him fight?
First time
Last
seeing
night?
him fight. First time. If I probably seen him before, I wasn't 100% sure. First time I seen him fight, I definitely picked Ray 55-45. Definitely, I thought it'd be a close fight.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You thought that Ray was going to win the fight going in.
Barely, though.
Based on what he did against Mike Sal.
Yeah, that was big on me.
You know, that was big on me.
Yeah, so.
And so, I seen Oshaki before, commentating him and everything. I knew what he had, but based on what I saw from Ray in the last fight, I said size, skill, power. I was like, I don't know. This might be a little bit much for Oshaki. I was like, this is gonna be a close fight, but if I have to pick a winner, I'm gonna pick Ray based on what I saw against Mexio and based on what I knew about Ray before Mexio. You know what I mean? It was like everything like kind of like came in. It was like, yeah, that's who he is. But Oshaki,
man, yeah, he had a thing where you had this thing when you box. He never allowed Ray to get comfortable.
Yeah.
All night.
Yeah.
It was just like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be tough. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna be in and out. It was a little bit everything to this game, man.
you talk about, I know one word that's always tossed around in boxing is cerebral. Everybody talks about themselves being a cerebral boxer. You can see the cerebral in Oshaki in terms of that talent, the cerebral talent in Oshaki, in the sense that he's smiling at Ray. Ray's coming at him, and he's looking at Ray. He knows mentally, I have to stay locked in, and I gotta let this guy know that nothing's bothering me. Nothing can touch me, can hurt me. You know what I mean? So from a cerebral standpoint, you can see how comfortable, how confident, and just how in tune with the fight Oshaki was.
Yeah, it was like, it wasn't even a question. Like, he controlled from the start to the end.
Yeah.
He may have had a couple times where he dipped down, but besides that, and at this point, you know what I'm always asking for?
Do your thing.
Future fights. He's the world champ now. As was that super featherweight? Featherweight, whatever it is.
Super featherweight.
I would love a Gary Russell fight.
With Oshaki.
Love. That's a big fight.
I do. I think it's time for Gary to move up from 26 to 30. He's at 26, right?
Yeah, it's just, he's been there. Yeah, he's been there a while because he's marked there at 126.
Yeah.
It's time for Gary to move up. And I know people like, well, he lost his last fight. I don't care. It's Gary Russell Jr., okay? He's a world title fight.
Yeah. And he didn't lose.
Yeah, I felt like
again, all respect to Mexio, but he didn't lose that fight.
Yeah, it's just, I feel like he deserves a world title fight, and come back. I have no problem. Art put him in there with Ray, and then put him up in there with Foster.
He beats Ray because
he might stop Ray.
I was just about to say
he may stop. And I know y'all saying y'all hold him. Hey man, Gary Russell really like that.
Yeah.
Gary, hey.
Here's something people didn't know about Gary.
Okay.
And I was surprised. This will go all the way back to when we was amateurs. We 18, 19 years old. I'm playing football at this point in time. Mm-hmm. We 17, 18 years old. I'm playing football at this time. So I'm hitting weights. We go into strength and conditioning at the Olympic Training Center. nobody else hits weights but little old Gary Russell at 119. So at the Olympic Training Center, the only two fighters that was hitting weights at the Olympic Training Center was Gary Russell at 119 and Showtime at 165.
Okay.
So the power you see from Gary at 126 is real power that's been cultivated, not based on the nature of me being a powerful guy, because he's by nature is a powerful guy and also has been taught how to throw those punches, but he also works on his power. So the same thing I said, we go all the way back to Perro. I said, I'd like to see him build some power. You build power based on, I'm not saying weights is the only way you can build power, but you talk about a smaller guy coming up and having to do things to maintain or build power. And one of those things being weights. One of the beliefs about weightlifting and boxing is that it slows you down. Gary Russell is one of the fastest boxers in the sport.
That's true.
So he negates that belief that hitting weights will slow you down. I'm saying all that to say, if he were to move up to 130, I would not worry about his power whatsoever, because the speed's always been there, nature. The power's always been there, nature, and he's always worked on both. So, I mean, moving up to 130, it's time, G. It's time. And you move up to 130 and, you have a real opportunity to take over at 130.
Yeah, especially on his side of the street. You got Hector, a world title at 130.
Yeah.
You got Leo Santa Cruz wandering around at 130, 126.
You got history with Santa Cruz.
Man, he can make that exciting.
My boy, look, I'm going to go ahead and say this. My boy, Gary, they have done a terrific job at making sure that they are always healthy before they get in the ring. They've always controlled their careers and made sure that they didn't take any more punches than they needed to take. They move very slow, very carefully, very methodically. Now it's time to let all that, you did all that to get to this point. You're now 30, I'm 35. Gary got to be 34, 35. Now it's time to let all that, you did all that to preserve yourself for this big 33 for this big run.
And this could be his best run. This is what everybody been waiting on, right?
Come on, G.
Like, call Gary, man. Call Gary.
Yeah.
You got me over here hyped. Because I see so many big
Listen,
fights.
man, I ain't getting in the ring, man, till I want to, man. Don't tell me to move to 130, man.
Yeah. Oh, that's him.
If I move to 130, it's because I want to move to 130, all right? All right, G. 34. G is 34. But G, I want you to move to 130 and get it on. And don't waste no time. I know he's been dealing with some ailments and things like that, which is also probably why he moved as slow as he moved to this point, but he's still healthy, still physically all the way there. I don't think there's any reason why he shouldn't move to 130 and go on this run.
Okay. So yeah, I was just double checking everything. But yeah, I was just looking at it. The 130, it could be fun. Hernandez, Hector.
Yeah.
Hector, is it Hector Garcia?
Yeah.
Hector Garcia.
That's a great fight.
Yeah.
Woo, that's a great fight.
Oh, who are you talking about? With Foster or Gary?
Oh, yeah. I mean, now I'm stuck on Gary.
I know. I gotta get you back. Because I'm looking, it's like, obviously we ain't gonna get Oscar Valdez. Lamont, is it Lamont Roach?
Lamont Roach? Yeah. That's DC.
Yeah, there's a couple guys in there.
Yeah.
That can make it fun.
Yeah.
Chris Colbert?
Yeah.
A couple guys in there can make it fun, Sean.
Chris Colbert does he have Mark? Chris?
Is Chris fighting Mark?
Who is Chris Colbert about?
I don't think nothing's official with Chris. Yeah, nothing's official with Chris. I didn't even hurt. So anyways, yeah, I mean, we got a lot of big fights. That's a lot of money making fights for Gary that Gary deserves.
Yeah.
And the legend of Gary Russell can be established.
Yeah.
For the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Because I think you can get, long as I don't know who all got the belts on one side of the road and this and that and this, but I think you can grab like 2 or 3 of them.
Listen, man, and I've been on record saying this, man. I think that fighters are in their prime closer to 34, 35 than they are closer to 28 to 30, which is what a lot of people think. I think that you are just at your full maturity, both in and out of the ring, at 35, 34 to 36. And I think that there's a lot that can happen in that amount of time for a lot of fighters. I think that your health may start to decline depending on your fight style, depending on your outside of the ring lifestyle and things like that. But for the most part, you should be at your healthiest, and at your maturity level should be at its best, and you should have the amount of experience that you basically experience everything that you need to experience, both in and out of the ring, at between 34 to 36.
And I feel like out of Foster, Garcia, Gary Russell, those three clean up their side of the street, go get Navarrete.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big fight.
Yeah, that's a big fight.
That's all money making fights
That's
right
a
there.
lot. Yeah, and that's a lot of fights that don't get made because of what side where you live.
Yeah, I know.
Because of where you reside, which is crazy.
Shout out to where the money resides. Remember that dude?
Yeah. No.
Shawn don't be on social media.
No.
Shout out, they know.
I'm just thinking about like Navarrete. Like, I don't think he beats Foster.
What about Gary?
I don't think he beats Gary.
What about Hector?
Possibly.
Okay.
Possibly.
What about Leo Santa Cruz?
And let's not leave Ray. Ray did lose. But I think that Ray and Navarrete is a great fight too.
If Carson was here, he'd say he clips all of them.
Yeah, right.
And
And then you got Leo Santa Cruz, who is still he's still an active fighter.
Yeah.
We throw Leo in the mix with Hector. You throw Leo in the mix with Foster. It's a great fight.
Hell of fights.
Yeah.
Hell of fights.
Yeah.
And then
don't sleep, y'all. I'm talking to the fighters. Don't sleep.
it's just so many big fights.
Get going.
And then Chris Colbert has something to say too. Dang, that's crazy how you do Chris. One loss and my man Chris Colbert got something to say.
Listen, how long has it been since he had that fight? It's been over a year.
Yep.
Yeah. So you haven't given us money. Well, my dad would always tell me is boxing only cares about what have you done for me lately.
Yes.
That was your last outing.
Yes.
We was high on you. You are exciting and entertaining. We love it. But what have you done for me lately? I'm not hating on Chris at all, but how can I include Chris in that mix where he was completely outclassed, outworked by Hector Garcia in ways that we did not expect? And Hector has gone on to continue to do his thing, and Chris has been out of the ring as long as he has.
But I mean, that's one loss.
Yeah, it's one loss.
The talent. Hopefully that refocuses him because he was on a high that he was untouchable.
Yeah.
And sometimes life humbles you.
But if you've been humbled, if you've been refocused, why is it taking you so long to get back into the ring?
I mean, after losses, it usually take people a while. I know you're different. How long did it take you? Yeah, you was out of the ring for a minute.
I don't know about anybody else. I don't think. Look at Mario Barrios. Lost to Tank, comes right back and loses to Keith, but he comes right back again and he has a great outing.
Did Mario? This is the first fight since he lost it. I mean, that was a year ago.
Since he lost to Keith.
Yeah.
Keith. But
Just saying.
the space between him and Tank then. I don't think it was a year. I don't know right off the top, but whatever the case may be, you suffered 2 losses in a row and you still in the ring within a year.
I'm trying to see.
Chris don't got no excuse, especially if you're trying to prove to everybody that you refocused, that you've been humbled, and even if you still gonna have all the antics that you had, like, hey, that's what got you fans. Don't lose that.
Yeah.
Don't lose that.
Yeah. Because I mean, AB have losses and AB is AB.
AB still gonna be AB.
Yeah. So. Yeah. With that being said, man. What we got next?
Shit. I meant to look. What's your guess? We got Luis Neri next week, don't we?
Yeah. We got Luis Neri. I mean, possibly Shane Mosley Jr.
I'm gonna set this up so that we can call Carson at the end of every show so that he could just rattle off what's coming next.
Oh no,
he did it last week, and I was like, damn, like how do you know these things?
Yeah. No, we got Luis Neri fighting out of Pomona next week. He is now with DAZN. Golden Boy? Golden Boy. Actually, it's Golden Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was formerly of PBC. Am I correct?
Formally.
You know, people be moving around here.
Formally.
Yeah, so we got that's next week in Pomona, California. Then Shane Mosley, he's trying to get it rolling again. So Shane Mosley Jr.
It's a fight at home.
Yeah, so right in his backyard. I'm gonna put it out there. It's out there. His dad's in camp. Dad's in camp. Yeah, his dad's in camp. How you like his dad being in camp with him?
I love it. Remember
you talked about that.
Yeah, I love it. I think that his dad has obviously all of the knowledge and experience to give his son. Mm-hmm. I would hope that, and I think I used this analogy once upon a time, or maybe I was talking to somebody else, but I saw this interview and it asked Michael Jordan if he ever thought about being a head coach. Mm-hmm. And he said, no, I can't be a head coach. They asked why. He said, because I would expect guys to do what I can do.
Yes.
And when they don't do what I can do, I would get mad. I would tear some guys down. I would ruin careers. And so I'm not going to put myself in that. And I'm not going to put nobody else through that. And I would hope that my worry has been for Shane is that he can't give it to his son in a way that his son understands it. Mm. And that's because I worked with Shane once, and Shane was trying to show me this move, and it was just so smooth and so easy for him. And it was a little bit harder for me. And he's like, come on, champ, you got it. Come on, champ, you got it. Come on, champ, what you doing, man? What you doing? I said, Shane, like, I can't do it the way you doing it. He said, yes, you man, come on. I was like, Shane, like, that's natural for you. He said, yeah, all right, yeah, let's work on something else. And so my worry is that he would get frustrated that something's not working the way that he knows how to do it, because they literally are on two different levels.
Yeah. Two different styles.
Two different styles too.
His boy's big.
Yeah.
Junior is big compared to his dad.
And so my worry is that in camp, they would have a problem with understanding and having a level of communication that they both are accepting of and receptive to. So,
and hopefully Bones Adams, that's where he comes in and he can translate that from the one man to the next man.
Yeah.
And that helps out. But
this is what I do know about Shane. Shane has his dad's style, but it's like, it's just not him.
Yeah. It's Shane Jr. style.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like,
you got your dad's sauce on it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the first time I worked with him, the first time I worked with him, I'm like, damn, like he shake his hands like his dad. He moved like his dad. But then, and he's got that explosiveness like his dad. Yeah. But then he don't have the consistency that his dad had. Like his dad was on you, go, go, go. You know, I do believe that if his dad can give him some of that, and he becomes a faster fighter in terms of pace, faster pace.
I did like his pace against Gabe.
Yeah, like
the fight before, he had moments where he elapsed. Gabe, he was solid all night against Gabe.
And his dad was in the corner, was in the camp a little bit before that fight. Remember? Telling me, like I'm telling you something you don't know. But his dad was in the camp a little bit. And remember when his dad left the camp, I was like, damn, he gone already? Yeah, remember.
I think so. The dad's been around for a few weeks for this camp, and I think he's going to go all the way until camp ends, which is a good thing.
So we got two cards on the zone next week.
Yep.
Lee Wood is in the ring with Mauricio Lara. 12 rounds for the WBA featherweight title. That is in Nottingham. And then we got Luis Neri. I'm not going to butcher this gentleman's name. Jovanie. That's 12 rounds for WBC junior featherweight. Eliminator. So we got two cards next week. And we do got some motivation we gonna hit you guys with before we get up out of here.
Yeah.
We got a guest.
Yeah. Is he ready?
You tell me.
Yeah, they say he's ready.
All right. Bunkie's on, right?
So we got.
All right, I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it.
You know, I'm all about.
I'm excited to meet a Bunkie. Okay, go ahead.
Me and Sean are all about giving back, and so I'm from Bunkie, Louisiana, and my brother hit me up and let me know that there was a football team, 8U football team that advanced, and they're, I guess, one of the best teams in Louisiana, and they're coming to Vegas. So I said, okay, and my brother's signed off on the dude. He's a solid dude. He does what you do. He just can't. He got a scholarship, left home, went play professional, lived in Seattle, started giving back and developing youth in Seattle, and said, my hometown needs me more. Mm-hmm. And he went back home to do it. I said, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I love Louisiana.
Yeah.
I love it to death.
Yeah.
I can't go back home and help the way he has. And I take my hat off to the guy to be able to go back.
I know it wasn't you. I know it was our guest. Now he getting roasted.
To be able to go back and do that is big, man. And I take the hat off to the guy. So when they told him he was coming, I laid anything he needed. I told him I got him. And we hooked up the kids, looked out the kid. But what he's doing is on a different stage, man. You know, it's something that me and you, we love to do. I know we do it here together in Vegas. We help the kids give back. And it's just something that I think it's something I think someone did it for us at one time. And I think it's something we try to give back. So with that being said, we got my man Jamelle Juneau out of Bunkie, Louisiana.
Juneau?
Hey, what college you went to?
I went to McNeese State in Lake Charles.
Yeah. So, I mean, introduce yourself, man. We got Jamelle Juneau, man.
Oh, man. First of all, man, thank y'all for having me. Super cool that I'm getting the opportunity to kind of be on here and kick it with y'all, and to have somebody from Bunkie be a part of it as well. Real dope. I mean, that's a real good. But I'm Jamelle Juneau, man. I'm just a dude from Bunkie that God blessed with some ability and some talent that allowed me to get out and go to college, get a scholarship, and kind of see the world play on some levels that kids from around here kind of dream of. And through that blessing and that skill set that I had, it's kind of led me on a journey to give back and pull some guys out of the same place that I'm from. As you know, Anthony, it's a place with very limited resources. Mm-hmm. And so be a resource, and I can be a platform to help elevate some kids that's where I'm from, that grew up in the same streets that I grew up in, man. It's been I think it's my purpose. You know, God kind of put me in sports, and sports has led me to where my ultimate purpose was, and that's giving back and being able to help some of these kids achieve some of the dreams that they that may seem so far-fetched. So they just got to see somebody that's done it, and I'm just here to, like I said, be a platform to help elevate.
And Jamelle, you know, I mean, you're a blessing, bro. Like, to have you left from training NFL guys to go back home and train kids. You left Seattle, Washington to go back to Bunkie, Louisiana to train kids. Do you feel in your spirit God motivated you and felt like that's what you needed to be?
Absolutely, man. I started out doing some camp. It was always tugging at me. You know how, like they say, man, God got something for you. Sometimes you can ignore it for a little while, and then eventually it's just no more ignoring. So I would come back and do these camps in the summer. Me and some guys that I played with in high school, we would do these camps. And the camps were good, but it just wasn't enough. Yeah. And that it wasn't scratching the itch enough. And then ultimately I was like, my wife, who's from Washington, she was like, let's go down there. Like, I know it's your passion. And thank God for her, because she was the one who kind of led the way. She was like, let's go back. Yeah. Let's go back and you do what you do and go do it in your hometown. And so I have, and it's been good, man. It's taken off. It's been 2 years, but we've moved the needle quite a bit. Not enough yet, but we're moving the needle.
Mr. Juneau, what did you see growing up? Like, what gave you the understanding that you could leave Bunkie?
Well, honestly, man, I didn't know that I could originally. I mean, I grew up in the same. Anthony, tell you, man, I don't want to make it sound like the worst place in the world, because it ain't.
It's just little.
It's very limited. I mean, it's, you know, urban neighborhoods and stuff like that where it ain't a whole lot of resources. You talk about a town that's divided by a railroad track. There's 2 red lights, and there's a white side of town and a black side of town.
To this day.
There's one. Yeah, to this day. I mean, that's kind of how it's recognized, the white side and the black side. And so for me growing up, there wasn't a whole lot of, I mean, I've seen a lot of athletes come through. I didn't know a whole lot of like doctors and lawyers and none of that. All I saw was like athletes, guys that always get to high school and be successful. And for some reason, and at this point, I think everybody's a product of their environment. And the environment just wasn't one that was allowing athletes, as talented as they were, to get out. They just didn't have a structure. I was blessed that I lived in a 2-parent household where my mom and dad were together. So I was like one of the kids in the neighborhood with structure. And my dad was basically doing what I'm doing now, just maybe not on the same scale, but he was starting little sports leagues, trying to put AAU teams together. And my dad just didn't like my dad didn't play college sports or get a chance to go play professionally, so there was a cap on how much he could expose us to.
Yeah.
And so the little bit of exposure he did get us to, it was enough exposure to kind of get us seen by some bigger AAU teams and get some older guys some opportunities to play AAU on some bigger stages. Yeah. And I was the young kid, so that door opened and I was able to wiggle my way into it and get recruited. And then from that, I just knew Bunkie was not the end all be all. And I knew that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted something bigger than that. Like I wanted something bigger and better. I needed to go see. And the little bit of ability that I had was like, all right, this is my ticket out. You know, you hear it all the time. Like, that's my ticket out the hood, you know, the ball.
Yeah.
And I mean, cliche as it sounds, it's true. Yeah. You know, and so when I realized that was my avenue, it's like, all right, man, I'm jumping on this thing. I'm waking up in the morning, I'm running to the park, I'm shooting, I'm getting in the gym anywhere and everywhere I can. And ultimately it led to, getting an opportunity, some options to go to college and play and that education.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry to cut you off, but the education that you received at Bunkie, that was enough to get you into school. You didn't feel behind. You didn't feel like there were things that you didn't know. You felt like catching up when you got out there to the university.
I was always, that's a tough one to answer. When I got to college, high school was relatively easy for me. I was always a pretty sound academic kid, and only because I'd seen people before me, grades be the issue for so many athletes before me. So I knew, like, as a 6th and 7th grader, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna let that be my problem. Wow. But of course, man, being in like you said, with limited resources, that's not a lot of ACT prep. There's not a lot. There was not very few people even telling me about the ACT or what it took to qualify. Mm-hmm. I just knew from watching other people fail, and I learned the lessons of watching all these before me that failed because of grades. Yeah, I was like, that ain't gonna be the reason that I don't get out of here. Like, if I'm not talented enough, cool. It ain't gonna be because of the grades. And it was an adjustment for sure when I got to college, as far as the academic standard and stuff like that. Being in a small rural area, you don't always have the greatest. But I tell you this, the teachers and stuff that we did have, they poured into. They could see something in me early, and they poured into. They wouldn't have allowed me to kind of falter and stuff like that. So it set me up.
Hey, you went back home. You developed the Dream League. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's called the Dream League.
Yeah, shout out everything you got going on right now.
Yeah. He went back and created the Dream. I think, is that the whole state of Louisiana?
Yeah, so no, basically what it is, man, is I was in, like I said, I was in Washington, and they had all these resources. Oh my God, I ain't even gonna get to talking about the resources they got. I thought I was in sports, youth sports heavy out there, man, all the resources they had. And so I soaked up as much of that game as I could and came back home. And I had a high school classmate of mine who she was working in the front office in the NFL, which is another crazy story for another day. But she's working in the front office, and she was able to plug me into the resources I needed in the NFL to, like, get right to it. And so we started this NFL league, and the guys came down. Guys from the NFL flew down from Chicago and, like, interviewed me and grilled me and drove through the parish like, man, you think you can do a league here? And I'm like, I think I can. And more than I can, like, I will.
Oh, you will.
Give me the opportunity. Like, I'm gonna get it popping. We're gonna do it. And so they did, man. They came down, they approved the league. And so we started the Dream League. And then everybody was like, what is this NFL flag, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, just believe it. We're going to do it. And so we ended up doing the Dream League. And that was the NFL flag league. We had 400 kids in it. In a parish of only, 30,000 people live in this parish. We had 400 kids. And so from there, it was the Dream League NFL flag. We started this NFL flag football program. And then from there, NBA reached out. And so we have a junior NBA basketball league that we run. From there, we got an indoor sports training facility. It's called Mad Lab Sports, where we train people indoor facility. We've got, and from there morphed a travel version of the flag football, which is called APE, Balls Parish Elite. And so from 2 years ago, we started it, and nobody had ever really played flag football around here. And us coming to Vegas, it was kind of a surreal moment because we built the thing. We won a New Orleans Saints regional, got a chance to qualify to go to Vegas. And then obviously we get to Vegas, and a guy from Bunkie is like showing us around Vegas, like showing us love in Vegas. And instead of it being a field trip type thing, it's like, oh, these kids from Bunkie are going to Vegas. And I'm like, no, I've been on this flag football circuit. There's some talented kids in this parish. They just don't have.
Oh, no. I think his phone died.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
So Vegas gave us the platform, right? So Vegas, y'all can hear me still?
Yeah, we got you.
We lost you for a second, but we good.
Yeah. So Vegas basically was a platform for us on the national stage to just showcase what we've been building. We kind of been in the lab building it for 2 years. And nobody knew about us. And we got to Vegas, and it was an opportunity for those kids to like put our little small town on the map. And that's exactly what they did. I mean, they went out there and competed against teams from all over the country and ended up finishing third, beat the number one team in the country on the way there. And it was such a cool feeling out there because it was, I don't know if you've ever been to the NCAA tournament. I'm a huge college basketball fan, but I go to the NCAA tournament all the time. And when those underdogs, the 16 seed start beating a 1 seed, or the 12 beating the 5, it's like everybody in the arena starts to gravitate towards that underdog. And that's kind of what happened in Vegas. We ended up being a 9 and we beat an 8. And then everybody's like, oh man, who are these guys? And then we beat the number 1 seed, and it's like, whoa, these dudes, like, they might be for real. And, we ended up, of course, the Cinderella story ended a little bit premature, but it was a good run, and it just gave me an opportunity to kind of look back on all we've been through and all of the long nights and weekends and me throwing.
He did it again.
You good?
Throwing kids in the back of our SUVs and driving all over the country and driving to Tampa, Florida, and doing all this crazy stuff. And it was like that moment was like, this is why we did it. We did it to give these kids this exposure that we're getting right now. And it's just super cool to see all of the hard work, and not just my hard work. Like, obviously I tell people all the time, I'm going to be the guy because I kind of started the idea and I'm the guy that's like the face of it. I'm going to get a lot of the love, but man, I'd be remiss to say that this is all like Jamelle Juneau's doing. That ain't it at all, man. I got guys that's been rocking with me that do all of the dirty work. I got a marketing team. I got people that's game day staff that help set this stuff up, and sponsors that help finance it. And it's just been, when you're in a small town, like, everybody just kind of pitch in and help. And that's just kind of been the motto. Like, teamwork makes the dream work. That's the Dream League's motto. And that's what it's been. It's been people stepping up out of nowhere and just kind of, they've seen my passion for it and seen my work ethic, and they've gravitated towards, like, man, you know what? I respect that grind. I respect that hustle you got. And it's coming into fruition. So it's been dope, man. There's been a lot of people in this parish that said we couldn't, and they've seen the work, and I think now that they're starting to respect it a little bit more.
And that's why, and to everybody that's saying, what the hell is a parish? In Louisiana, we call,
I've said it 5 times.
I know.
I read it and said it.
We call counties parish. Okay, that's the only state that does that. But
right.
But yeah, no, what Jamelle's doing is incredible, man. And what the kids played in the Shrine halftime game, they went to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Hey, do we got the pictures of the kids we can put up right now?
Oh, that was what you. Okay.
Yeah. So, but what he's doing is incredible because, man, from when Jamelle's from, we got family members went down the wrong road in life. Some went down drug dealing, prison. Jamelle, you probably knows, but it's like so many kids you saving their life, and I would say I was honored to do a couple things for the kids, but you did more than I've ever done, man. And appreciate it. You saving so many. You saved family lives. You changing the family's whole dynamic just from the little impact you're having on these kids, man. Like touching a one person can touch thousands.
Yeah.
So, man, thank you for that, man, because it's not a lot of people that does it. Yes. Thank you to your wife, your kids, sacrificing the sacrifices you're making to go back. We're showing the kids right now, but it's just like, it's amazed me to see my small town on this stage. Like, that's crazy, man.
Right. Yeah, man, it's kind of surreal, when you think about how small of a town we're talking about. And like I said, I don't oftentimes not even glorify, but I don't even give enough of a lens into what it's really like. Like you said, like, there's a lot of dudes I went to school with that's in jail, dead, been to some funerals, that kind of environment. And I talk to these kids about that all the time, and I'm glad that they don't know what I'm talking about. That means that the needle's moving. That means this environment that we in no longer like it used to be, which is a fortunate thing, which is the only reason we're doing what we're doing, right? Like, it's to give these kids an opportunity and a different lens to see that, man, look, it's bigger than this, and you can get out of here. And if I can get out, you can get out. And if you can get out, then you can pull one more out. And that's my whole goal. Is like, if I can pull one, And that one can come back and pull two. Two can pull, and it's low grind. It's, you know what I mean? And so it's an opportunity. And hopefully we pull in more than one, but we just going to keep on fighting the good fight, man, down here on the ground level. And I tell a lot of these politicians in this area, man, anytime I get a platform to start preaching, my kids will tell you, like, man, that dude will start preaching to you. I'm like, yeah, man, because I'm passionate about it. Like, it matters to me. They from where I'm from. I see myself in so many of them. And it's like, man, whatever I got to do, if I got to sacrifice financially, my time, whatever it is, just to save one of these kids, man, is like, they that important. Yeah. Like, you matter, and you that important. And I'm going to pour whatever I got into your cup, until your cup. If my cup runneth over, then it's my job to pour into yours. So that's just kind of how we doing. You
have said a lot, sir. Mr. Juneau, we definitely appreciate everything you're doing for the parish down there. I know this is what we all know, because we've all lived enough life to know that life is not just about sports. Those who come from sports, those of us who were professionals or collegiate athletes, whatever the case may be, at the end of the day, there's always the component of, what are you doing for somebody else? What are you doing to better your life? What are you doing to better someone else's life? I know you, as a coach, as a mentor, as everything that you're doing down there in your parish, doesn't just stop once you guys leave the field. It doesn't stop once you leave the basketball court. I wanted to use this as our motivational message for the day. And I know that you've given everybody a whole lot. I just would like you to give us one more thing. What's one thing that you tell your kids? Maybe one of the things you tell them consistently to kind of help guide them. Give us some motivation that you give to your athletes.
Well, I'd say probably my biggest thing that I preach more than anything is, man, I always talk about deposits. We talk about withdrawals and deposits, and I'm constantly preaching to them that this life is about deposits. It's about pouring into somebody else. It's about constantly giving without expectation. Like, the withdrawals are going to come, but those deposits, exactly. And that's all these are, small deposits. And eventually you'll be in a position where the withdrawals and the reward of it, they'll come plentiful, but you just got to continue to give to other people, without expectation, without an expectation of getting anything back. And I think that message in itself will help create better people. And, better people are better athletes and better, fathers and husbands and all of that different stuff like that. And I mean, even the component of the husband component, the father and husband component, and Anthony, he'll tell you that. It's just like, we live in an area where you don't see a lot of, and it ain't a racial thing, but the truth of the matter is you don't see a lot of black fathers and husbands. Our kids don't get to see enough of it. And it's like giving them a glimpse into the family dynamic of, man, look, you can be a black guy with a family and a husband and do it the right way and pour into your community and do all of those things. And it's a representation of what we need more of. And so just continuing to make those deposits, man, into these kids' lives, or into the lives of I say kids, it can be adults as well. Everybody needs some pouring into. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of my biggest message that I preach nonstop, is like, continue to make deposits for the right reasons into the right places. And that's what we're going to do. And that's what I'm going to do, as long as God continue to let my heart beat every morning.
Come on, man.
Wake me up. We're going to make deposits.
I'm a big fan of yours, Mr. Juneau. Never met you before. You ain't on TV every day. I'm a big fan of yours because of what you choose to do with your life, man. I appreciate everything that you're doing down there in Bunkie. Ain't gonna get me down there to Bunkie, man.
Yeah.
Next time you come up here,
I'll come down, man.
Make sure we cross paths next time you come up here.
No doubt, man. I'll be back. We'll be back, man. We'll link up.
Matter of fact,
I got us in this position for a reason.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna get Jamelle to a fight weekend with us.
I like it.
Whatever fight you want to go, let me know. I got you.
And I'm gonna come down there and kick it with y'all, man.
I
want to let y'all two know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I want to thank y'all, man. Like, I want to, you know what I mean? Y'all got a platform, and allowing me to put my platform on your platform is only a way to elevate even more, man. Y'all don't have to do that. Like, y'all got thousands of people y'all can bring on this show, man. I just like to make sure that people know that I'm eternally grateful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For everything that we've been given. Because at the end of the day, you giving me this platform is gonna help my kids.
I hope so.
That's what I'm about. I'm super grateful for anybody that's willing to take the time to give us an opportunity, man. I'm forever grateful for that.
Thank you for joining the PorterWay.
Appreciate it, brother.
Absolutely, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Stay blessed.
Yep. And we gonna
for sure, man. Y'all stay blessed.
And we're gonna close with this. I had a motivational message last week.
Okay.
And it just, the way the conversation went, the way that the show went, it was like, this don't make sense.
Time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's perfect for this week.
Go ahead.
When you hit me and told me that you wanted him to come on, it's like, it's perfect. It's so many stories right there with this Jamelle, right?
Yeah, Jamelle.
I kept saying Juno because I wasn't sure how to say the first name.
Yeah.
Jamelle, so many stories right there with it. It's the leaving the home. It's the giving back.
Yeah.
It's the showing other people. I mean, it's the living a life outside of. It's so many stories.
And you gotta think about it. He basically, you took your family out of a better position in Seattle to go sacrifice.
Yeah.
So his kids got to sacrifice.
There's so many stories there. And the one that I want to pull on that I was going to use for motivation last week, we know. we're finishing. It's okay to leave home.
Yes.
It's fine.
We both did it.
It's fine to leave home, man. I go home all the time, much more than you do.
Snacks.
But it's okay to leave home. I know a lot of people feel like if they leave home, then they turning their back on their community. They turning their back on their boys, and they gonna miss something. The list goes on. This man Jamelle Juneau left Bunkie, Louisiana, very small city. Y'all heard it all, and went to a university. And there was a big separation between the education that he got and the education that he went on to receive. But he understood that I need to do this for my life in order for me to be better and have more than what my parents had, in order for me to have what I've had and give it to my kids. I have to leave home. Guess what? He went back and took everything back home. You look at LeBron James, took everything back home to Akron. Even though he's in LA now, he went to Miami. It's okay to leave home. Don't feel like you're turning your back on anybody. Don't feel like the sacrifice that you're making to leave home isn't worth anything. You can always go back home, and remember that when you do go back home with the right intention to help. Don't go back home with the intention to get back on the block. Don't go back home with the intention to catch up with this girl or that person, whatever the case may be. Leave home. Do better. Then bring it all back. It's the PorterWay.